So here in the United States, we have a problem. And this is a very significant problem. This is something that many people have been anticipating, but some are saying that this will not happen for a long time. Well, it's actually happening sooner rather than later. And it is that the US dollar is collapsing. Now, right now, the United States economy is doing fairly well. We are strong, or at least that's what we're being told. All media is telling us that the US dollar is not collapsing. But again, why would they tell you the US dollar is collapsing when they are being pretty much put in front of you by these big media conglomerates, by the people that are, pretty much picking our next president and pushing them, right? There's no reason they should tell you that the US dollar is collapsing. But I'm here to tell you we have some very clear signs, and it's not good news for us. So I'll break that down in just a moment. But all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So what is one of the very first signs that the US dollar is collapsing? Well, this is something that Bank of America has told us for some time. They're issuing a warning of a US dollar collapse, and for multiple reasons. Number one is our debt. We have so much debt, but there's actually some things that are just as big and just as important. One of those things actually is happening right now. I'll address that in a moment. But here's what we do know. Foreign banks do not want to hold on to the US dollar. They just don't. They want to get rid of the dollar, and they're moving to gold. Look at this, okay? Right here, this is 30 years of central bank gold demand. Back here, okay, this is 1993. Back here in the 90s, right, they were selling gold. The 2000s, selling gold, right? They weren't buying. Now they are purchasing gold because gold is more valuable. It's very valuable right now. Just look at the spot gold price for a second. Look at this, okay? This is the gold price. You can see what it is today. But when you look at this, and again, it's not moving up that much, but this is what it's done in the past year. I'll just show you 6 months. This is what it's done in the past 6 months. On October 23rd, 6 months ago, it was at $1,972. Now, look at it, $2,328. That's what it is. That's the gold price. Okay, that's crazy, just the amount it's gone up. But again, it's because more countries are buying it because they don't want the US dollar. But something else is happening. And let me just paint this picture for you, because this is what experts say is going to cripple the US dollar. And this is why the rich are saying we do not want dollars. We don't want money in the bank. We want gold. We want silver. We want oil and gas futures. We want real estate, and we want businesses. That is what we want. It's because of this. They say foreign banks, okay, central banks are stockpiling gold, and it's for a very understandable reason. They don't want to be held hostage by US policy. And this is what I'm talking about. Just the other day, Congress passed a bill that is going to unlock billions of dollars in frozen Russian funding, Russian assets, and they're going to transfer that to Ukraine. About $300 billion in frozen Russian assets, okay? That's what we know. That's how much Russia has. It's just sitting in certain countries like the European Union. And also about $6 billion of that is sitting in US banks. The money that's sitting in US banks, they're going to transfer that. The US is going to transfer that to Ukraine. But this is why many experts believe this is troubling. And think about this for a second. If you are China, you're Russia, you are India, right? South Africa, right? If you are any of these countries, Brazil, you're probably concerned about sanctions on your country. And you're concerned that if you have any money, US dollars, that those US dollars may be worthless. You cannot use them. And this is exactly what's going on. This is also why some believe the BRICS nations are going to completely cripple the US dollar. If you don't know who the BRICS nations are, they're Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Saudi Arabia even wants to be included into that. And if they are, I can tell you right now, the United States is going to have a very difficult time. But because of this, because of Congress passing this bill, okay, this is a huge concern. This right here could push the BRICS nations into collapsing the US dollar. And this is why so many people have been really pushing for tangible assets. Not the US dollar, not the $100 bill. This is the holy grail. But this is not something that rich people want. They don't want this. It's useless to them. And of course it is, because this right here could go away. But gold, silver, real estate, something that people want, something that gold and silver you can trade with, oil and gas, right? Again, very valuable. And I bring this to your attention because we are going to see things go from bad to worse. And I know a lot of people, and I invest in it too. I invest in cryptocurrencies, but again, cryptocurrencies can go up and down. Gold is fairly stable. Again, I'll show you the spot price. Just give you an idea here. But look at this. Look what it did in a month. Okay? Look at it go up from $2,165 and it jumped to $2,391. I'm going to show you 5 years. Look at this. It was down here. Okay? At $1,200 in 2019. And then it shot up here in 2020, $2,000. Even when it dropped right here, if in 2 years it dropped, went from $2,000 here to $1,657. Dropped $350 in 2 years. That right there, I'd say, is pretty stable. And then look, then it started going up. So between this time in August 7th, 2020, and here, March 11th, 2022, over here, April 28th, 2023, again, the price is not moving that much. And that's the reason why many countries are going with gold, going with silver, going with tangible assets. But I just want to bring this to your attention because things are going to get worse. Bank of America says if the U.S. does not control our spending, we're going to blow right through it and we are going to run out of money. We are going to be one of those countries that isn't a superpower. Nobody wants to invest in a country that's going broke, that has nothing. Okay? And I bring this to your attention for one main reason. It's going to get worse. If we see the U.S. potentially go into a war, it's going to get worse. The dollar is going to collapse. We are going to see gold prices soar. Oil prices are going to go up. And here's the interesting thing about oil. The United States has, I believe, 17 days worth of oil in our strategic petroleum reserve. That is it, 17 days. And then we are out. The reason why that's important is because we used to have a lot of oil. But the Biden administration decided in order to bring prices down before the last election 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, they decided, you know what, we should pull some oil and take it from our strategic petroleum reserve so we have more supply. Demand stayed the same, supply increased. They were doing this when OPEC and OPEC Plus were actually reducing the amount of production. But now the Biden administration has no alternative. They have to just let oil prices go. Let gas prices go wherever they see fit. And the Biden administration is stuck because we can't do a thing. But again, I bring this to your attention because if we see the US dollar collapse, which right now inflation is crippling many lower and middle income households. The rich are the only ones that are benefiting from this. But what's crazy about this is there's now a new expectation that inflation by this coming election could be at 4.8%. That's over 1.5% higher than what it is right now. So we'll see what happens, but all I can tell you is just be prepared. And if you are not investing in other things and you're just holding on to your cash, you're probably making a mistake. But again, I'm no financial advisor. Go talk to somebody that you know and that you trust about your specific situation, because they may be able to give you a little more insight and to help protect you in case the dollar does collapse. So we'll see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you is I will be here every step of the way. I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates, but that's what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.